A very good evening. Welcome to Prime TV News on Friday, the 12th of July, with me, Iftia Abdul Kader. Your headlines first. A proposal to Parliament to abolish the death penalty. Prime Minister says he will appear before the Parliamentary Select Committee. Dengue raises its head. Dates fixed for Hemasiri and Pujit's fundamental rights petition. And on news overseas, intense footage captures US Coast Guard seizing alleged drug smuggling submarine in the Pacific. Parliamentarian Bandulal Bandarigoda has said a resolution should be submitted to Parliament through the Speaker to abolish the death penalty. He said that this resolution should be immediately taken up for debate and approved in the House. Bandulal Bandarigoda said that those sentenced to death should not be hanged, but the loopholes in society had to be eliminated. He said that it should be considered as to how a person should be prevented from being imprisoned. A responsible government has no right to respond to brutality through brutalism and also had no moral right. Also referring to the speciality in moving this bill, the parliamentarian Bandulal Bandarigoda said that they have to think whether everyone who is branded as criminals are genuinely criminals. He said that he considered that hanging one of the innocent persons is a grave crime. Health sectors claim that an increase has been reported in the number of dengue cases from several districts. It was revealed at a media conference today that this has been consolidated according to entomology survey reports as well as epidemiological data.
Director
of the Health Promotion Bureau, Dr. Palita Karunapema, said 27,245 dengue cases have so far been reported by today, along with 42 deaths. As such, due consideration has to be given to this issue. Director of the Dengue Control Unit, Dr. Anura Jayasekara, said that there is a rise in the disease along with the monsoonal rains. There is a clear increase in dengue within the Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara, Gaul and Matara districts. There is a trend over an increase in the disease also in the Kagala and Ratnapura districts. Dr. Prasila Samaravira of the Health Promotion Bureau said that research carried out by the Medical Research Institute on the dengue virus has revealed that dengue is contracted only once from one variety of virus. But since there are 4 types of the virus, there is a possibility of one person contracting the disease 4 times. Education Director of the School Health and Nutrition Branch of the Education Ministry, Renuka Piris, mentioned that when considering the education sphere, it is the period of term tests that are being held in schools. But parents are in the habit of sending their children to schools even if they are suffering from fever. But the child may lose the term test but would not overcome the danger to the life of the child. As such, it is important that the child be kept at home if he or she is suffering from fever. This message is very important to the parents. Also, the attention of the school authorities should be drawn to cleaning the premises even in the midst of the examination. On to a headline-making story. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has said that he has received an invitation to appear before the Parliamentary Select Committee that is examining the Easter Sunday attacks. He said that he had received an invitation to appear before the Parliamentary Select Committee. The Prime Minister said that the no-confidence motion moved against him and the government had been defeated in Parliament. Parliament ruled that the accusations made in the proposal are baseless. As soon as he came to know about the Easter attack, he met the defense officials and issued instructions to take immediate action. Due to the initiatives taken by the government, those involved in the attacks were rounded up within 2 months. He praised the defense sectors in this respect. The government parliamentarians did their best with dedication to help those who were affected by the disaster. Parliament has also endorsed that these activities were properly carried out. Intelligence information on the attacks were not properly communicated to the proper places in time. Initially, they launched the operation in search of the terrorists. He said that they succeeded in the process. The consideration of petitions filed against IGP Pujith Jayasundara and former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando has been postponed for the 25th and 26th of July. It is due to be considered at the next date whether to take up these petitions for hearing. 12 petitions have been filed against former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando and IGP Pujith Jayasundara, claiming that their fundamental rights had been breached by not taking any action to prevent the Easter Sunday attacks. These petitions were taken up for hearing before a 7-member judge bench of the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice took a decision to appoint a 7-member full bench to consider these petitions as they are of national significance. Attorney General Dappula D'Oliveira personally appeared in court today to make submissions on behalf of the petitions. Petitions have been filed against Hemasiri Fernando and Pujith Jayasundara for their failure to prevent the terrorist attacks on April 21st, despite having prior information over the attacks. The 7-member judge bench, led by Chief Justice Jayanta Jayasuriya, comprises Justices Buaneka Alubihare, Sisira Diabru, Priyantha Jayawardena, Prasanna Jayawardena, LTB Dehidenia and Murdu Fernando. During today's hearing, court informed the defendants to file objections over the case on July 18th, while also calling on the prosecution to submit counter-objections, if any, on July 23rd. The Attorney General said that he received limited objections of the Inspector General. One of the petitions had been filed by a father whose 2 children had died during an attack on St. Anthony's Church in Kochikade. Still on local news, the Sri Lankan Navy has seized a foreign vessel in the seas near the Galle harbour with 60 kilograms of narcotics. The Navy said that 9 persons were also arrested along with the trawler. These 9 persons, along with the suspicious trawler, were being brought to the Galle harbour. The Navy said that they are due to be handed over to the Police Narcotics Bureau for further investigations. The Ministry of Education says that 1,918 new principals will be soon recruited. In the meantime, the handing over of benefits of the Suraksha Students Insurance Scheme launched for the consolidation of the health security of the children is now successfully operative. The new principals will be recruited to fill 1,918 vacancies of Grade 3 principals. Those who have secured the highest marks in the competitive examination for the recruitment of principals on the 10th of February are due to be selected. The Education Ministry has finalized to hold the interviews in this respect with effect from the end of this month. Accordingly, 3,881 candidates who had secured the highest marks will be summoned for the interview. Meanwhile, 11,740 students have been provided insurance benefits under the Suraksha Students Insurance Scheme, further expanding the free education opportunities. The Education Ministry said that the government has spent a sum of nearly 533 million rupees in this respect. The Colombo Chief Magistrates Court today decided to summon on the 26th of this month the case filed against parliamentarian Priyankara Jayaratne and his private secretary B. Dayavansha. While serving as Civil Aviation Services Minister, he is accused of creating a development planning coordinating officer illegally and appointing his private secretary to the post, causing a loss to the government. The case has been filed by the Bribery Commission. The Colombo Chief Magistrates Court ordered to announce on the 26th of this month preliminary objections against former State Minister A.H.M. Fauzi. He is accused of committing an offence by using the jeep given to the Disaster Management Centre for his personal activities while serving as a senior minister in the previous regime. The 17 suspects who were arrested while smuggling into the country 116 kilograms of heroin in a multi-day fisheries trawler belonging to Iran have been further remanded until the 26th of this month. The order was issued by the Colombo Fort Magistrates Court. The Police Narcotics Bureau informed the judiciary that nearly 1,000 computer data analysis reports of the Colombo University had to be investigated. Payment of compensation to fishermen who had died while they were engaged in their profession has taken place at the Ministry of Fisheries. Payment of compensation took place under the patronage of Minister P. Harrison and State Minister Dilip Vedarachi. The handing over of assistance for students of recipient fisheries families who had suffered accidental deaths or as a result of accidents took place under the patronage of the ministers. More than 2.7 million rupees was paid on behalf of 8 fisheries families. 1.2 million rupees was paid on behalf of a fisherman who had died during an accident, while the payment made on behalf of a natural death of a fisherman was 250,000 rupees. The Northwestern Province function to hand over Buduput Suraksha entitlements will take place under the patronage of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe tomorrow. Buddhist monks of the 3 Nikayas and many invited guests, including ministers Gamini Jai Vikrama Pereira and Akila Viraj Karyavasam, are scheduled to join in the event. The Ministry of Buddha Shasana and Vayamba Development said that the function will be held at around 2 p.m. tomorrow at the precincts of the Janadipati Shilpa Shalika Hall in Kuliapitiya. The government has launched this program with the motive of targeting the health security of the Buddhist monks. Central Bank Governor Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy says that after 10 years, there is a surplus of the balance of payments in the first quarter of this year. The governor made this reference when the Monetary Board of the Central Bank met in Colombo yesterday. The 4th Monetary Policy Review for 2019 was also held at this meeting. A group of officials, including Senior Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal, joined at this meeting.
For the first time in 10 years, in the first quarter of this year, there was a surplus in the current account of the balance of payments. That's the first time that has happened since 2009. Of course, it's only one quarter, but still, that is a positive development. And that has also clearly had an impact on the balance between inflows and outflows, which has meant that the rupee has been able to appreciate by 4.1% during the course of this year so far. On the status of the economy, as you all know, central banks are all about stability. And if you look at the various indicators, I think you will see that the macroeconomic fundamentals are in reasonably good shape. In June, inflation came down a little bit, and the inflation rate is well within the 4 to 6% target range. Inflation expectations and the outlook is well anchored. There are structural reforms that need to be implemented, and of course, one needs to work on both sentiment and confidence, which at the moment, particularly after the Easter bombings, have taken a hit. But all indications are that there is fairly rapid recovery that is taking place due to the Easter bombings, as well as the import compression that we are seeing outside the effects of the Easter bombings. The government's revenue, import duty collection has come down. In addition, with the lower level of economic activity, VAT, income tax, all that is likely to be affected. So government revenue is being affected. In addition, expenditure also is likely to be higher. The government is taking steps to review the whole budget and to make sure that it maintains the overall framework of the budget, but that fiscal slippage or possible fiscal slippage is an argument against relaxing policy.
The police have said that 2,280 persons have been arrested during a special operation carried out for the apprehension of drunk drivers. A special operation was mooted countrywide for the arrest of drunk drivers on the 5th of this month. This special operation ended yesterday. The office of the police media spokesman said that the number of drunk drivers taken into custody from 6 a.m. yesterday to 6 a.m. today was 243. The fine imposed for drunk driving has been increased to 25,000 rupees. Business News is up next. Sri Lanka tourism is recovering faster than expected as the arrivals from 1,200 per day in April has shot up to 2,200 in May and to 3,200 per day in June. Chairman Sri Lanka Tourism Promotions Bureau Kishu Gomes said that they also expect more arrivals to pick up towards the mid-year and also subsequent to further relaxing of travel advisories, especially by Russia, which would happen when the state of emergency is lifted by the government. He said that in addition to the current 985 million rupees earmarked for global tourism promotions for a local and foreign ad agency, a further 4 billion rupees will be allocated for more promotions, including road shows and exhibitions. Kishu Gomes said that while the globe GDP growth is around 3%, tourism growth is 4.4%, which shows the importance of the industry. With Sri Lankan tourism moving rapidly after recovery, the country should attract revenue in the excess of $10 billion from the current $4.4 billion in 4 more years. For more information, visit www.itnews.lk. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.